You know,
No.
But I want to hear about your whole phase.
I'm in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Make some noise.
You know,
We gotta support our sister.
listen.
Come on now.
No, I love a good hoe phase. I'm a believer of after breakup hoe phase.
Nice.
Yeah, especially that. That was my last one before this one. Which was really great. A Jamaica hoe phase, which was great. I booked a solo trip, but at one point I had gone and got a massage, and I came back to the bar, and then I turn around and there's this like Winston from the house.
Winston.
Like muscular, chocolate, white teeth, everything was working, and I wasted literally no time from the time that we met. It was until the time I was walking with him back to my room. It was maybe 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
That to me is help. That to me says help.
It's funny we talk about this because you said something on your page, Jerry, that was like, you want to be the gigolo. Don't let me misquote
I
you.
remember that
The
shit.
gigolo of helping women learn the pleasure.
So,
is that what it is?
Nice that you mentioned that. There's a lot of women who have not experienced pleasure.
Yep.
Right? It's something about giving women the power to know, hey, this is not actually what I like. And also the language to say,
Oh, yeah.
actually, if you go down and you go this way, that's gonna get me right where I'm going. But if you never are with a person that you're comfortable enough exploring that, or even have had the chance to have somebody open the conversation up, you're not gonna know that.
Yep.
And so let me come suck your tell you what's working. You
Oh, so every woman though? Because you said every woman.
I don't want to
You
say
said every woman.
Where's the sign-up sheet for that?
And I'm like, is the whole phase over or are we in it?
No. I am currently not in my hoe phase. I am currently not.
No, but
a
I'm
gigolo.
saying, can we sign up for the service?
Where the suck?
And that's what I'm saying. That's the service that I wanted to provide, and not just with me and
You
other
mean you just
people.
gonna have people that you pay to go and do it, and they collect?
Yeah.
I'm about to say your jaw gonna hurt.
So you
it's
was
a lot
hiding
of-
flights.
I see a future here.
I see.
You know what I mean? If we think about how we learned about sex,
Yeah.
like who had a conversation with you about sex? Who told you how to have sex? Who told you how to have sex? Not just safe sex, but pleasurable sex.
Yeah.
Not my mama.
These and notice how she said that she was with a bunch of women, and she even said she became a gigolo. What do we normally call gigolos? I don't think it's the guy that only dates a girl and only has sex with one girl. He's the one that smashes all of them. She called herself a gigolo.
I'm just this whole look. I ain't never seen no shenanigans like this mess, and I hate that it's called black. Whatever that sign, I was trying to read what the sign said in the back.
Listen to black women.
It's a disgrace. I really hate that there was not one female up there who spoke against it. You know, I guess birds and feathers flock together. I just disagree with all of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just don't understand. And that's coming from a person I've never met a man I just wanted to jump into bed with on the first night. I don't think he exists. I can't even understand where I don't even think like that. I don't know. But I'm just appalled. And again, and this is the same thing, right? So when you have women up here and they're talking like this, it's almost as bad as when we were talking about how some guys, they make a blanket statement. They'll say, oh, women do this. But when you're a woman and you're sitting here talking amongst other women and y'all are talking like every woman does it, it becomes confusing because you're putting that information out about yourself. And it's not, first of all, you shouldn't even be, in my opinion, there should be some shame to it. No, I'm not saying I should be controlling your body, but there should be something about you talking. I don't know. It's just telling everybody you sleeping with people. Oh, I just got banged out in the bathroom from a man, and he just did his do with me and left. Like what?
Yes.
Why does that even feel okay to talk about? Why is that something?
So Shane,
to
if you were
brag
part
about?
of,
I'm confused. I'm just so confused here.
Shane, if you were part of that conversation, what would you have said?
I want to know what in you. I think that for me, and I think that's what I was trying to have from Ash. I guess I just want to, and me and Mistake can talk about stuff like this all the time. I've just never been that person. I just want to know what is what about you is allowing a complete stranger? And I think I've used this analogy before. If a person was running a marathon and he came in, he hugged me. You know how people come hug you and they got all this sweat on them, and you're like, ugh. But yet you got sweat on you when you having sex with somebody, right? But that's not ugh. You're exchanging bodily fluids. You're allowing somebody inside your body that you don't even know. I don't even understand how that's a thing. I mean, I just don't. Like, I just don't get it.
How
And they would
old
kick,
are,
and
do
they
y'all
would kick
know
your
how
ass right off that panel too.
do
They
y'all
told you
know how
ain't
old
fun.
those women are? Are
And they're
they in
older.
their
One of them was 40.
One of
Oh,
them,
shoot.
and then I think the girl that's the Haitian girl, she's around my age or a little younger.
Okay.
She's
Because
like in her late 20s.
what I see that show as is like a different version of horrible decisions. I don't know if y'all ever heard about that show, but even that show is actually doing a rebranding because of the fact that they're saying that they're putting that out there and it's causing them to lose money because companies don't want to support that message, right? So, and then they're making a Patreon, so they're still going to have those conversations, but it's limited around who can actually watch it, right? Which makes sense. Kind of like, well, the way corn used to be. You either had to pay for it or, try to find some way to access it. It wasn't just easily accessible. But one of the things that, like, getting back to what she was saying about the clothing and blaming the victim for stuff happening, I totally agree with her on the point that more messaging do need to be towards those who are the assaulters, right? But what we're not talking about is that we're giving the same messaging to boys too about what they wear, right? Like everybody that I know, I remember my parents or my dad specifically talking to my brother, or even hearing certain conversations of other men saying, like, now they don't wear that hoodie, take that hoodie off, take that down because
Don't sag your
there's
pants.
a risk, right? Or pulling pants up, you looking like a thug, right? So we're having those same conversations with our boys about the way they dress as well. And back in the day, like, don't be wearing flashy, don't wear that fresh gold chain, you gonna get jacked, you go in this neighborhood, right? So in situations like that, I don't understand why there's so much pushback. Nobody's saying you got to dress like a nun and wear turtlenecks all day. Nobody's saying that. What we're saying is being mindful with where you're at and try to move accordingly in that space. So a person that knows that they're going in the neighborhood where they jack chains, they would be very stupid to go in there all flashy with all of their chains and think that something isn't going to happen. Do they deserve it? No. But could it have possibly been avoided? Yes. That's all we say. It's just about common sense, and we're arguing not to have common sense. I grew up, parents, like, you weren't supposed to be at somebody's house. Like, I don't like the fact that we try to pretend that we don't know what's up. Like, if it's 3:00 in the morning and I'm going to a dude's house, there's something in me that feels unsafe. If I know I don't have any intentions on getting down, I'm keeping it real. I can't sit here and say that if like we're arguing.
I'm going to get my feet massaged.
Right. But my thing is that if that conversation isn't had, right? If I'm like, listen, like, we've been hanging out for a while, I might feel comfortable enough to go to somebody's house.
Okay.
But I may not be ready to go to that level. So I'm going to have that conversation. Listen, we've been hanging out for a while, whatever, I'll go up. But listen, it's clear I'm not doing nothing, right? And I need to stick to my standard about not doing nothing. If it goes any further, and I'm not saying if it goes further than that, the moment I say no, it needs to stop. So I'm not going to say if I go up there, I know what it is. But what I'm saying is, if I know that I don't want the potential for something to happen, it would be in my best interest to avoid the situation altogether. So there is some ownership on me as an individual to protect myself. That's all I'm saying. Now we can continue to argue about that, but I'm done with it. Y'all go ahead and live reckless if you want.